Hey, Midnight Sun here. I wanted to point out to all of you guys that in the following videos that I'm going to be doing for the 1 to 70 guide, there is going to be no more altar in the game for you guys to practice if you wanted to practice and follow along with those videos. The reason I did the video with the altar in the previous season active was to try and get as close to what it would be like during the season as possible. However, that's obviously not going to be a complete one-to-one guide. And in terms of you guys practicing right now, you're going to miss out on a lot of the benefits of the altar and the visions. Now, there is some ways that you can utilize that and do that even here right now, which is using a gem of ease if you have one, but you have to get it to rank 120 or rank 25, and that would only work for one item. So this is a level 70 item. If I put a gem of ease in here in the socket slot, it would make it required level 1, so I could equip it on each class if I wanted to. But that's not going to be very good for doing a whole 70 gear item. So again, I'm really sorry about, the videos that I made being kind of a little bit earlier, and it took me a long time to get through the editing with work and schedule and stuff to get them put out. So they are just kind of give you an idea of what it would look like in this season. And with this season being the Soul Shard season, there is a bit of a caveat in those videos. These 1 to 70 guides that I've been showing you guys, I've been utilizing the 1 to 18 method by going through Runes of Sescheron there and getting the cube first and then getting 18 in order to get a gem from each of these bosses over here. And with the next season having a chance to drop a Soul Shard gem from the bosses, it would make the most sense to straight up run Zoltan Cool. So just go straight to Zoltan Cool and kill him over and over again in the hopes that he drops a Soul Shard. However, I am not sure what level the Soul Shards drop at. I heard they can be dropping at level 1. I don't know if there's an increased likelihood of that happening later on, and I don't know how feasible that's going to be. So I don't know if I run into Zoltan Cool and you get lucky and you get the Soul Shard right away. You can scrap that to get a Marquise, I believe, or an Imperial gem, which would satisfy the altar requirements of having a gem above a Flawless Diamond. So you could theoretically go straight there and do that and get the gem, and you would have the Blacksmith leveled up if you're using the cash for the start of the season there, which would allow you to craft level 70 gear straight at level 1. Now, in the 1 to 70 guides that I'm going to be showing you guys here, I do start out at level 1 for each of those things, so it doesn't really matter too much, but could be an option for you guys there if you want to start the season. Again, I'm not sure how reliable that method's going to be. I think most of the classes did it pretty fast, getting to 18 and then going through and getting the gems from the Rift Guardians or the Rift bosses or whatever you call these bounty bosses over there. And then the other reason is that in the 1 to 18 guide, I talked about the items you get from Kadala. And one of the subscribers pointed out that something that I can do is just gamble on a non-seasonal class, and it would tell me what item requirement it is there. And I did not think of that at the time. That makes sense. And I recommended saying level 12 for most of the items. It's actually level 16, so it'll be a little bit further along in order to equip those items actually on your character. So keep that in mind if you're trying to follow the guides. But thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoy the following videos. Hey, Midnight Sun here. We're going to be leveling up the Necromancer, and this is the 1 to 70 guide, or the 18 to 70 guide if you're following through with the previous 1 to 18 guide on the Necro. And I already gambled here. I got really lucky early on and got the Grasps of Essence, so I continued to get the Circle of Niluges Evol. I can't pronounce that very well. This allows me to raise an additional Skeletal Mage with each cast, and they last an additional 4 seconds. So this could be pretty useful in the beginning. It's not my favorite, to be honest, so we'll put it on since we have pretty much no rings, so why not? And for this one, we're going to wait and see what we get for our upgrade here. So we're going to upgrade the two-handed scythe here, and we're hoping for a Blood-Tide Blade, which I've been getting it almost every time I've tried this so far, which implies that I'm not going to get it this time. So let's see here. All right, still got lucked out. We got the Blood-Tide Blade. So I'm going to go ahead and typically I would extract this, but I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to actually extract the Grasps of Essence because I'm going to use this as my main damaging item here because it's got 3,395 damage. So I'm going to extract the Grasp of Essence, and that's also going to make it to where if anytime I need to level up another Necromancer here for whatever reason, just for fun, then I'll have that on my bar here. So we're going to go ahead and scrap the rest of this stuff here and get started. Now this should be the fastest leveling in your life, and it's typically why I do the season journey on the Necromancer. Typically I do the 1 to 18 on the Necro because it's fast to get the items have no level requirements. At that point, you could then switch over to another class and level up from 1 to 70 there and complete the season journey on that class. Now, if I get a really good item like the Bloodtide Blade, I'm just going to complete the leveling journey or the season journey on the Necromancer until I unlock, let's see here, chapter 4 here to get to all of the set bonus items. And then I'll claim the set on another class if the set is better. So for example, I would run through on the Necro, get those season journey completed up to chapter 4, and then if there was an Ina Monk set available, then I would switch over to the Monk and put on the Ina set and level up with that. So we're gonna go ahead and get started here. Let's start our timer this time. There we go. And our corpse explosion is just gonna be doing all of the work. So as soon as we unlock that, which is right there, we've got our corpse explosion and we don't gotta worry about anything. We're just gonna walk forward and tap corpse explosion behind us. And this corpse explosion will continue all the way up to torment for difficulty, no problem. We can also utilize our blood nova here in a minute as well. Now I won't have time to put it on my bar while maintaining the massacre. So as always, we're gonna maintain the massacre up until level 30-ish or so. And then we're gonna stop and put our skills on our bar. Now, if we do get a Vision of Enmity here, we are gonna hop in it as well. So this is where we're gonna start. Corpse exploding after getting a few corpses on the ground. We just turn to each of these little corners and tap corpse explosion once. Okay, and then we're gonna leave 1 or 2 of these guys behind so we can make it hopefully to the next area. Did. Alright, there's that vision we were looking for. We're gonna hop in here. And in here, if we can find a funerary pick or an iron rose, then that's gonna be absolutely great. Make sure I had my microphone not fully plugged in. It was giving me some bad feedback. Okay, so again, you gotta be a little careful here. Trying to maintain this massacre bonus a little bit longer here. Now, as long as we get one enemy, we can blow them all up. There would be a decent amount of death breath here, it looks like, for the Necro. Again, we'd only get about half that. Alright, kill one enemy, blow them up. Kill one enemy, blow it up. Alright, and here I'm actually a little happy that we got a longer one of these. I'm going to activate my bone armor here just to give me a little bit more health. We got a helm, it looks like. Typically, the helms on the Necromancers aren't too useful. Now, I did get something else here. So I'm going to go back and grab that and just see. We got Tragul's Corroded Fang. Now, this can be combined over here with the Bloodtide Blade, I believe. The Cursed Scythe rune for Grim Scythe now has a 100% chance to apply a curse, and you deal 190% increased damage to cursed enemies. So with that being the case, I could go over here to my command skeleton, and I could switch over to Frailty and do Aura Frailty. And what happens is now all the enemies around me are cursed, so I could extract this with the Death Breath I got and put it on my weapon and then wear this. Or it would make more sense to extract the Tragul's Corroded Fang because the damage is just insane differently right now. So I would do that, and then I'm going to go ahead and switch over to Scythen Blood Power Shift here. Bone Spear is going to go to Death Nova. We want Blood Nova for the most damage, but we can just put on Unstable Compound right now. Frailty we're going to keep. Corpse Explosion is going to be Bloody Mess. Decrepify, we're going to switch over to Blood Rush, and we're going to do Potency. Bone Armor is going to be Dislocation, and then over here we're going to hit Standalone. We're going to throw on, let's see here, the attack speed of Siphon Blood, And then we're going to do, let's see, receive 1% damage bonus for each enemy afflicted by one of your curses. So when we're got this Aura of Frailty around, if there's a lot of enemies, we'll do more damage to them. Let's go ahead and go through the next area here. Again, we're just going to blow everything up with Corpse Explosion. And now when we use our Death Nova here, we should be able to take out a good chunk of enemies as long as there's a few of them nearby. So like right there, there's a few enemies. Got an amulet, probably like a Dovu energy trap or something simple like that.
I must wait longer. The destruction they leave in their wake suggests that we are right.
Alright, we're finally getting some items on the ground here, which is great. Although I'm anticipating that a lot of these aren't going to be very useful. Now, again, we're looking for the exits. We don't really care too much about those elites. Here is where I would probably start full clearing because we're starting to get some items dropping. So if I see a couple enemies nearby, I'm just going to go ahead and check them out real quick. And again, as long as we get one corpse, we're just going to go ahead and tap the ground here and try and get the rest of these guys. There's our one corpse. Tap the ground. Did I miss an enemy around here somewhere?
I have long waited for this knowledge.
I lost my massacre, it looks like there.
My power has grown.
And we actually made it to the end this time. This one wasn't too long, which is great.
You will make a fine corpse.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up these guys. And I'm just gonna drag this guy over here a little bit to try and explode him a little bit more with some of those extra corpses, but he doesn't want to move. That's fine though, we can hit him with Blood Nova and take him out. Or sorry, not Blood Nova, Death Nova. And then we would follow around and find our guy wandering around here somewhere. Always liking to go to the end. There we go. Let's see what we got. Couple gems, Greater Rift Keystone, couple items. Alright, looks like we got quite a lot here. We got a second Blood Tide Blade. Okay, so I'm just going to throw on the amulet just because, again, there's that Blood Tide Blade. That's not very useful. This is a wizard item, which is interesting. Blind Faith isn't going to help us out. Pig Sticker, we could throw on our follower. This is going to help us out with Bone Spear and deal a significant amount of damage with it. But we're not currently using Bone Spear, so again, I would still suggest extracting that Tragul's Fang there. And we can see with the Necromancer, we're getting a lot of legendaries compared to the other classes. And let's see if I can scrap all of this stuff. Again, I wouldn't scrap the other thing. I could put that in there, and I should have a bit of gold here too, so I might see if I could upgrade that as well. But I'd have to train that up, and am I not able to combine gems? Guess not. So we'll just throw that in my helm to boost my leveling here. We are at 59 already in 8 minutes, so pretty fast. And let's see about getting it the rest of the way. I don't need to drop difficulty. I should still be fine on Torment 6, actually. Now, I may be eating my words here in a minute. We'll see. But as far as I know, this should still be fine. Corpse Explosion is such a powerful skill, especially with all of these little bugs everywhere. It's just going to give you more corpses to explode. And I believe I should be unlocking the Blood Nova, which is going to boost the damage of Death Nova significantly as well. Okay, I thought I had that still.
I have trained well. This world can abide you no longer.
Alright, and then we're just going to move around in a circle again with Corpse Explosion. Alright, we're at 63, and we're at 9 minutes. Again, try and drag them when you're on the last few seconds to see if you can carry it over to some more enemies here. We do have another vision, and we can go through it actually right here. We do so much damage that it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to stick in this level here a little bit because I think it's going to be a little bit faster for me to level up here if I just stay where I'm at and focus on this the bugs in here.
I must wait longer.
And there we go. 270 in 11 minutes. So much faster than all of the other classes and a much more relaxed time. And since we are level 70, I'm just going to go ahead and showcase this real quick. If we go over to Halls of Agony now, this is going to be a fresh zone. We're still on Torment 6, and we're still doing phenomenal damage here with all of the enemies around us. So Necromancer, one of the few classes that can do this and just stick around on Torment 6. You don't got to worry about anything else. In fact, we'll even test out something interesting here. I'm not sure if we can do this, but we'll see. I'm going to go ahead and go to my game settings and change difficulty. I'm going to bring it all the way up to Torment 11. Again, we have no set items on. We don't have a Legacy of Dreams, which if we did and we just went and got a Legacy of Dreams here, we'd be doing a lot more damage. We're going to go back to Temple of the Firstborn here. And I just want a couple of these bugs to follow me here. Oh, I forgot to switch over to Blood Nova. I gotta do that first. There's Blood Nova. Alright, let's see if we can do this. Alright, so we're actually managing to damage them a little bit on this difficulty. So, if I have another modifier, probably do this with one more item on me. Probably doing that skeleton thing there. So let's go ahead and drop a little bit more. Let's try Torment 9. Yep, Torment 9, we could probably do it.
That is not possible.
There we go.
This world can abide you
So in Torment 9 difficulty, especially if you drag the enemies into the previous corpses and hit them with the explosions, you should be able to actually stick around and do some damage on Torment 9 difficulty here. So obviously you're going to probably die without some kind of means of staying alive, but it's still insane that you can do this with absolutely no items on. So as soon as you get a Legacy of Dreams, you should be able to hang out here for a minute.